I'm Gabriel Morency for Sports Interaction. There's been a lot of talk about Herman Cain's 999 tax plan this week, but don't worry, I'm not going to give you any political betting advice because the last time I did, I told you that Rick Perry was a lock to win the Republican nomination. There's a better chance of the Florida Atlantic Owls winning the national championship than there is of Rick Perry winning the Republican nomination at this point. But I am intrigued by the 999 plan. But I decided to tweak it a little bit. I've come up with my 990 plan. It's 9 beers, 9 bets, 0 regrets. Let's do this thing. Let's start in Oakland, California. The Raiders will be honoring Al Davis throughout the afternoon. I think it's fitting that the Cleveland Browns, an old school football team, takes on the Raiders in this spot. Now, the Raiders came up with a huge emotional win against the Houston Texans. And what's going on with the Texans? I thought the Texans were a lock to win this division. First, they lose Andre Johnson. Now they lose Mario Williams. The Houston Texans are in some trouble, people, but hey, that's another story. Let's talk about the Raiders here. Great win for the Raiders last week. It's going to be an emotional Sunday afternoon. The black hole is going to be absolutely insane. But do you really want to be laying 7 points with the Raiders in this spot? Last 14 times the Raiders have been home chalk. They've covered twice. I think the Oakland Raiders win an emotional game. I think they win an emotional high-scoring, close football game. I like the Cleveland Browns plus the points. Now, I've had a lot of success betting against the Philadelphia Eagles this year. And the Dream Team has been more of a scream team, and they've left their fans screaming bloody murder after another meltdown. This week, it's different. I like the Philadelphia Eagles to get it done against the Washington Redskins. Last year, they absolutely mauled them. It was 58-29. It was Michael Vick's reemergence and coming out party. That football game was one of the reasons why Michael Vick has as much money as he has right now. This is an absolutely positively have to get it done overnight win for the Philadelphia Eagles. You look at the NFC East, and everyone's pretty shaky. The Washington Redskins aren't going to continue to play at the pace that they are, and I think they lose on Sunday. Dallas Cowboys in tough against the New England Patriots. I love the over in that football game, but Dallas probably going to lose to New England, which leads us to the Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants. As everybody knows, I am a Buffalo Bill fan, so when I pick the Buffalo Bills, people think that I'm just betting with my heart. Well, you evidently don't know me very well if you think that I bet with my heart, because when it comes to gaming, I have no heart. This is a tough spot for the Buffalo Bills. Everybody loves the Bills. You log on to gaming websites, and the consensus public are in love with the Bills, and the bandwagon is filling up right now. But Donald Jones is out. Roscoe Parrish has been out. Eventually, this is going to catch up to them a little bit. Now, what I am very concerned about for the Bills here is the loss of Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams, the only Pro Bowler from last year. Kyle Williams is defensive stalwart, probably the best defensive player in the National Football League that nobody's ever really heard of. I think this is a tough spot for the Buffalo Bills. As much as it pains me to say it, if I pull the trigger on the Bills this week, it will be tied into a teaser. Now, speaking of painful, it's been a painful year for Rex Ryan and the New York Jets, and it's amusing. Rex Ryan says, everyone likes to, kick sand in our face, and you guys are just pouring it on now. Well, that's what you get when you come in saying that you're the best team in the league every year, Rex. It's getting ugly. Even Joe Namath is calling out the New York Jets. A couple of weeks ago, Joe Namath says the New York Jets aren't as good as Rex Ryan says they are, or that they think they are. Now, Joe Namath is saying that Rex Ryan is too nice, that he's too soft on his players, that he's got to get harder on his players. Now, I know that Rex Ryan is getting tired of Joe Namath's criticism, but it's going to be hard to get into a smack talk war with Broadway Joe, especially considering he actually did win a Super Bowl for the New York Jets. But Rex Ryan should just consider himself fortunate that Joe Namath hasn't said that he wants to kiss Rex Ryan's wife's feet. But hey, that's another story. Now, this is an awful football game, the Jets and the Dolphins on Monday night. But anyone that's watched Monday Night Football for a long time knows that it doesn't matter what the records are, and it doesn't matter what the scenarios are. The Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets on Monday night are going to give us a crazy, strange football game, and I would expect nothing less. Now, let's wrap it up with some college football talk. Mac Brown got embarrassed last week in the Red River Shootout. Yeah, I'm not calling it the rivalry. It'll always be the shootout to me. Interesting number that Mac Brown is 13-0. 13-0 straight up following a football game against the Oklahoma Sooners. We'll make that 13-1 because Oklahoma State are the real deal, baby. Oklahoma State are averaging 51 points a game offensively. And after seeing what the Oklahoma Sooners did last week, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Cowboys hang 45-50 on the Longhorns as well. Yes, I think Texas is in that much trouble. Their offense simply will not be able to keep up. And unless Oklahoma State turns the football over 3, 4, 5 times, I don't think Texas has a hope in hell in staying within striking distance in this football game. We got a great game in the state of Michigan. I am a Michigan Wolverine fan, but I'm not biased when I say that I believe the Michigan Wolverines win this football game against Michigan State. Michigan State have won 3 straight. Michigan State beat them by 17 last year. That 17-point margin of victory was the largest margin of victory for Michigan State over Michigan since 1967. When Brady Hoke got the job at Michigan, he put 2 clocks counting down to the games in the Michigan Wolverine locker room. One of the clocks, the Ohio State Buckeye game. The other clock, Michigan State. This is a huge game for Brady Hoke. It's a huge game for the Michigan Wolverines, who are undefeated, coming off a spectacular performance on the road. I think they're a better football team than Kirk Cousins and the Michigan State Spartans. I'm Gabriel Morency for Sports Interaction. Remember, 9 beers, 9 bets, 0 regrets. May the winners be yours.